de subjuntivo. Find your notes from subjunctive that I gave you yesterday, right? Find those, find those, find those. If you've been in class, you have a hard copy. If you have not been in class, then you need to find the online version. You can always find it under class resources, or it's probably linked to today's assignment. It was probably linked to yesterday's assignment. So find it. I'll share it for a minute, but then when I give you something to work on, you're going to need to have it on your own. Where is it? Okay, so you're getting your notes, pausing for a second here, find them, find them. All right, like I said, I'll screen share for a second, but then you're going to need them anyway. All righty. So let's do some quick participation points here and talk about the subjunctive. All right, so somebody tell me, first of all, it's not really a tense because we're looking at it in the present tense. What do we call this? That's a different name. What does it say? What does it say? Top of the page, looking at your notes, raising your hand. Anyone? It says it right at the top in green. And what does it say? The subjunctive mood. All right, it's a mood. It's not a tense because we're still looking at it in present tense. Later on in your Spanish career, you'll look at it in past tense. All right, but it's just a part of the present tense. All right, so what I need you to know is basically the yellow part here and the blue part. All right, I need you to know when to use it, and then I need you to know how to make it. All right, so talk me through when to use it. But there's three things that have to be true to use a subjunctive verb. Can I get a quick hand? Quick hand, quick hand. Ethan, start us off. Give me one thing.
Doubt or emotion.
Okay, there has to be doubt or emotion. All right, so it's like, I hope that you do something. I recommend that you do something. Look, I'm going to go down here. Look, all these. If you see anything that starts with this, that is going to use doubt or emotion, right? I hope, it's important, it's necessary, I doubt, it's good, it's bad, it's possible, I prefer, I recommend. All of those things are going to imply that you use the subjunctive if the other two things are also true. Ava, what's another thing?
A change of the subject.
Change of subject. I hope that you do your homework. That's subjunctive, right? Because I am one subject, you are one subject. What about if I hope that I do my homework? No, right? Because I did not change the subject there. All right, now I did mention it can be a generic it, like it's important that you study your Spanish, okay? So it and you are still different subjects. So the it here is one subject as well as I or you or he or she. All right, keep that in mind. All right, Leah, you want to give me the last thing?
Yeah, the word K.
Right, and I asked you to add that to your notes yesterday. I asked you to add the word that, right? So the word K, which basically translates to that. I hope that you have a great day, okay? All right, so once we've established that we need the subjunctive because all three of these things are true, then what? Well, I have to form the subjunctive. And again, this shouldn't be that hard because it looks a lot like what? Somebody unmute and say it, or just say it. Looks a lot like what? Commands. Perfect. All right, so what's my first step here? What's my first step? Somebody I haven't heard from. I don't know, Sebastian, what's my first step?
You put it in the yo form.
Perfect. Yo form. Sergio, then what do I do?
For which one?
I'm just looking at the 3 steps to forming a subjunctive. So I got the yo form. I should have said drop the ending. I'll go ahead and add that. So yo form, drop the o. What's my second step there, Sergio?
Opposite ending.
Opposite ending. Perfect. So AR verbs now have E, and ER and IR verbs have A. Gracie, what else do I need to do? Okay, so that part's a little different than the commands, all right? If I hope that you talk, hables. If I hope that we talk, hablemos. If I hope that they talk, hablen. All right, so you do have a few more options. And we said, what did we notice about the yo form and the L form? Yo form and L form. Riley, what do we notice about the yo form and the L form? Riley, are you there, hon? Going once, going twice. All right, what do we notice, Joel, about the yo form and the L form? Oh, I know he's there. I saw it. Go ahead, Joel. What do we notice about the yo form and the L form? Look right here. Yo form, hable. L form, hable.
Wait, drops the O?
Yes, but look at specifically. What's the difference between hable and hable? Yo hable and el hable. Don't overthink it. What's the difference?
Oh, hold on. I don't know.
Is there any difference?
They're in different spots. I don't know.
They are, but I'm not trying to trick you. Is there a difference between the word hable and hable?
I don't think so.
No. Okay, that was kind of my point there, right? So
Okay.
the yo form, I didn't mean to trip you up there. The yo form and the L form are the same, right? Coma and coma. So you're going to have to use a yo or an L or an A. All right, and then we had some irregulars. We said make sure you use the yo form. We said be careful of Kargar and Zar. I got one thing for you to add, and then I'm going to give you a little something to work on. All right, so listen. Here are the irregulars. De, este, vaya, sepa, sea. There's one more I want you to add in. So if you're here and you've got a paper copy, I want you to physically add in the word haber. I'll tell you when to use it. It comes up in one of your homework assignments. So I wanted to make sure that I talked about it. It's not, doesn't come up very often, but that's why I left it off. It's kind of a funny one. But if you would, right now, okay, I'm making it big so you can see it hopefully. I want you to add haber to your notes, okay? And I'm going to explain how to use it. So if you're just typing your notes, make sure you're type on your document here. All right, so add the word haber. You can put a little star by it. So haber is the word in present tense, it's I. So I would say like, not I, like my eye, that's how you pronounce it, but it's H-I-Y, right? So I would say, hay tres personas en la clase. What am I saying? Hay tres personas en la clase de español. There are, right? So this word I means there is or there are, okay? So sometimes we do have to use that in the subjunctive, and it is irregular. So I thought I should give it to you. I think it comes up in one homework question somewhere. So I felt like I needed to just throw it out there. So it's like, I don't know, I hope that there are 5 people in my class tomorrow, right? There may be, there may not be. So I hope that there is Aya or there are Ayan. Okay, just throw it on there. It's not something I probably even think I would quiz you over, but like I said, I think it comes up in a homework assignment somewhere. All right, so we're going to do this little activity for the rest of class, and it's a little group activity. We're going to start together because it can be a little confusing, and I think if we start together, though, you'll get it. So I'm going to stop sharing this for a second. Everybody got this, okay? You fixed the Aya thing? Okay. All right, so let me stop sharing, and let me show you what you need to pull up. You guys, did you pick up one of these? I think you did. Yeah. You pick up this, everybody? All right, so here's the paper we're using. I think if you were in last week, I maybe gave you one. So grab that. If you're here, you have one. If not, you're going to just look at it with us on your current lesson. Oh, Riley, I just saw your message. No worries. Sorry, I didn't get your point. I'll try and get you a point soon. Okay, so let me get rid of this. Oh, let me get rid of this. Okay, so we are looking at this cerradura, and let me screen share for a minute and explain what you are going to do. All right, it's a little activity related to the subjunctive. So you are going to be in a group of 3 to 4 people, okay? And you are going to go through, a cerradura is a lock, all right? It's a little activity. So to unlock this, you have to find the code. To find the code, here's what you do. Ready? Look at it with me. It says, read all the sentences in the boxes. If they do not use subjunctive, indicative, that's just present tense, or infinitives correctly, you're going to cross out the box. The remaining letters will spell out your code. It is a word in Spanish. All right? So let's look at the first one together. We're going to do at least 1 or 2 together, and then I think it'll be easier for you to figure out. So the first one says, espero que la película sea interesante. All right, it looks like they have used the subjunctive there. So what we need to decide is, as a group, Does it make sense to use the subjunctive there? So let's look at it. Espero que. Well, that's on my list. Espero que, I think is on my list, right? It says, I hope that. So there's doubt or emotion. I hope that the movie is interesting. So there's a change of subject because it's I and the movie. And do we have the word que there? Yes. So do we need the subjunctive? Yes. Is the word sea in the subjunctive? Yes. So the first word of your code is E. So you can write that on the line that says El Código. If you have a paper copy, or you can just keep track of it on a piece of paper, the first word is the first letter will be E. All right, let's look at the L. Es imposible que saco malas notas. It's impossible that I get bad grades. Okay, so it's impossible. Okay, that one will work. So that implies subjunctive. That I, is there a change of subject? It and I? Yes. Does it have the word K? Yes. Okay, so I need the subjunctive. Is saco in the subjunctive? Or is that in the yo form? No, that's in the yo form. So is that one going to work? No, because that's in the yo form. It needs to be subjunctive. So cross out the L. So that's what you're going to do. In your group, you're going to talk through each one. If you know what the meaning is, that helps. But sometimes you can kind of work it out even without the meaning. You can see, are there two subjects? Is there a K? Do I need the subjunctive? Is it there? All right, and you're going to go through and figure out what's left, and that should spell a word. Does that make sense? Kind of, sorta? You with me? Give me a thumbs up if you're with me. See about half of you there. All right, so I want to put you in a group. Let's see, what time do we got in here? 39, which is really like 35, let's say. I would like to give you about 10 minutes in a group to see if you can work this out. All right, then we'll come back together. So if you are online, I'm going to put you in a breakout room. And I need you to make sure that you are, as soon as you get to your breakout room, if you can put on your camera, half of you have your camera off. It's real awkward for people to talk if they don't have their camera on. So turn on your camera if you can, unmute yourself, say hi, otherwise it's super awkward, as you know. So let's see how many groups I'm going to do here. All right, I want you to have, it looks like I can get 3 in each room. All right, I'm going to put you in a group of 3. All right, so I will jump into your rooms. You need to be talking. You need to be going over these, going, well, what do you think about the U1? Well, what do you think about the U1? Well, what do you think about the S1? Well, I think it's right, or I think it's wrong, and work your way through that. All right, you got about 10 minutes. Please join your room and turn on your camera and turn on your volume so that you can have a conversation. If you can't get one, skip it. All right, I'll pop around in a few minutes to check in on you. All right, ready, set, go. All right, I think that. So you guys are just going to be a group of 3. All right, so don't really move, but you can kind of just discuss. So like we did 1 and 2, so start talking about number 3. You can kind of come to a consensus, see what you think. I know it's a little awkward because you're like across the room, but you make it work. Okay, so you guys have to start talking to each other. I'm going to check in on them, and then I'll see if you have any questions. All right, hey, I'm Lana and Rodney. Are you guys there? Slash tomorrow night. I have one activity for you using irregulars on subjunctive, okay? So that means you now have 2 textbook activities. I will check them both. They're both due by Friday, all right? Let's put it that way. I'm not going to check them today. So you had one from yesterday that you should have already done. And then you have one for today that I'll give you until tomorrow night to work on today or tomorrow. So it's actually due on Friday. Okay. So please keep up with that textbook practice. These are kind of all about just getting the practice in. Okay. If you don't do your practice, you're not going to get your points, and then you're not going to be in great shape for your quiz next week. So make sure you're taking care of those. I think that's it. I will see you tomorrow. If you're on Zoom, hasta luego, unless you have any questions for me.